Hello students, welcome to online classes of Geography of class 12. This is my last class of your chapter number 6 secondary activities of the book Fundamentals of Human Geography. Now in this today's class I am going to discuss about the questions, that is NCERT questions and CBSE board questions. Now let us proceed with the NCERT questions. I am not proceeding with the multiple choice question, I am directly moving into the questions, that is a descriptive one. Now write a short note on the following in 30 words. High-tech industry. Now what are high-tech industries? High-tech industries are actually the latest technologically based modern manufacturing activities. High-tech is not an entity but rather it is a concept. Highly developed scientific and engineering tools and techniques are made after various intensive research and investigation, and the number of white collars are there working in these industries. And who are basically involved in these industries? Scientists, engineers, trained technicians, administrators, sales specialists. They work in a closely knit system. So this is related to high-tech industry. Now what is manufacturing? Manufacturing is actually a conversion of the raw material into more useful and valuable fabricated articles with the help of machines is called manufacturing. Now for example, the conversion of bauxite into aluminium and the cotton in cloth changes the nature of the raw material and it becomes more useful and valuable. Now what is the principal aim? The main principal aim of the manufacturing industry is the more a material is changed in its form, greater will be its value and utility. So this is related to manufacturing. And we all know that manufacturing, when we say manufacturing unit, it is a complex organization having specialized labor, machineries are used and the quality production is on large scale. Now next it is footloose industry. Now what is footloose industries? These industries that improve the product to suit the world market, that employ highly skilled labor and use high technology. Now these are light industry, use components in place of raw material. I said it is components, it is not a large sort of raw material, it is components. Now they use electricity from national power grid as a source of power. Then products are small and transported means the transportation can be easily done. Now these are clean and pollution free industry and hence are located near the residential colonies, and these industries have many alternatives for their location. Why? Because they don't need a huge massive structure for the development of industry. So they are having many alternatives for their location. So this is related to the short notes on these three topics, that is high-tech, manufacturing and footloose. Now next, differentiate between primary activities and secondary activities. It's already been discussed in the notes, so just follow the notes. Second, discuss the major trends of the modern industrial activities, especially in the developed countries of the world. Here answer will be related to the characteristics of the modern large scale industry, that is specialization of the skill, then comes that is automation or technological innovation, then comes mechanization, then organizational structure stratification. All these points will be included in this answer. Now explain why high-tech industries are being attracted to the peripheral of the metropolitan cities. Now what are the reason why they are attracted? Because outskirts the land is cheaper. The factories are generally of single story, so they need a vast space area. So land is cheaper and they need vast space area, that is why it is located outskirts. Second, high-tech industries are well connected with the facilities of transportational network. So outskirts means there is a well connectivity with the transportational network. That is why. Third, pleasant environment, away from the pollution, away from the congestion of the city. So they are having pleasant environment throughout, so they attract the workers, and they just allow the workers to perform their job efficiently for a long duration of the period. So long working hours in a pleasant environment. That is another reason. And what will be the next reason? That cheap skilled labors are easily available. Why? Because there is a good connectivity of the transportation. So these are the basic reasons why it is. And one more thing, that they need, that is what we can say, they need raw material. They don't need raw material, rather they need components. So when they need components, it can be easily transported to any parts of the cities or of the regions, to any that is any areas. So wherever it is situated, whether it is situated nearby or away from, there is it will not make a big factor for its location. So that is the reason why it is located in the outskirts or the peripheral of the metropolitan cities. Now the next question. The next question is, Africa has immense natural resources and yet it is industrially the most backward continent. Why it is so? Now, number one, that Africa is very rich in various types of resources, whether it is mineral resource or whether it is power resource. But why it is lacking behind? Because they lack in infrastructure and technology. The first basic reason is that they lack in infrastructure and technology that is basically needed to develop all the reserves or the resources that is present over there. That is the first point. Number two, now these are, Africa means what is the climatic condition? It is equatorial climate. That means it is very hot. Even there are some places that is rainforest, that is dense forest. So basically people are engaged in economic activities. Why? Because over there the climatic condition does not allow them to do the work of extraction, does not give the scope to do the work of extraction. So they are basically engaged in primary economic activities. It can be lumbering, it can be gathering, it can be agriculture, whatever it is. But mining activity is very less, and thus wise they are basically engaged in these three primary activities. The next is the countries of South African continent, means except South Africa, are economically and socially backward. They are economically and socially backward, and they are under the grip of malnutrition, hunger and civil war. So continuously there is political instability within themselves, and there is lots of lack of proper nutritive diets, means the people are suffering from malnutrition. So they are not healthy in terms of working for long hours. So as a result, the resources are there, the reserves are there, but they are unable to transform it or change it. So these are the basic causes why, though there is immense natural resources, but still too they are economically backward. Now let us move to the next, that is board questions. Now as per 2008, what are the questions? On the basis of ownership, classify industry of the world into three groups. Explain the main features. Hopefully you know what are the three groups: private, public and joint, and their features which has already been given in the notes. Explain three characteristics of the modern large-scale manufacturing industry: specialization of skill, technological innovation and mechanization are the three basic characteristics. Now simply if you are writing these subheadings, Your answer will be not according to the marks that is allotted for the question. You will score marks but not full marks. So, you have to elaborate the sub points. Third question, distinguish between small scale industry and the large scale industry. Now, everything is given in the PDF earlier. So, please follow the notes and prepare your answer. Next, 2009. Explain the role of raw material, labor and energy sources in the location of industry in the world. Now, I am just giving an example like iron and steel industry. They need huge quantum of raw material, whether it is iron ore, whether it is sources of energy like coal, or for them the workers, those who are engaged, they need a huge number of laborers. So, if iron and steel industry is not adjacent to these three factors, that is closer by to the raw material, closer by to the sources, energy sources and cheap supply of labor, that is continuous cheap labor supply, if it is not there, then iron and steel industry cannot flourish. So, you have to take such examples and you have to support all the 3 points in this order separately. Next question. Distinguish between cottage and small scale industry. Just do the work from the notes given. Now, why are high-tech industry in many countries attracted? I discussed the question, it's a NCERT question. I discussed the points already. 2010. Explain any 3 features of household industry in the world. Given in the notes, just follow that. What is the importance of secondary activities in the world? The importance of the secondary activity is conversion of the raw material into valuable and usable products. Conversion of the raw materials into valuable and usable products. That is the basic importance. Now, next question. Name any 2 subsections of the cotton textile industry in the world. The 2 subsections are, the one is power loom, another one is hand loom, another one is mill loom. 3 are there, you can mention any 2, hand loom and power loom. Describe any 5 factors influencing industrial location in the world. Already given in the notes, just follow the notes. How are technological innovations are important aspect of modern manufacturing? Now, technological innovations are important for modern manufacturing because number 1, they improve the quality. Number 1 is they just improve the quality of the products, or they able to maintain the quality, means quality control is there. Second, they just eliminate the waste and the inefficiency. They remove the waste and inefficiency. And number 3, they are able to curb the pollution. That means reduce the pollution or combating pollution. So, these are the 3 points: reduce pollution, eliminating waste and improve the quality are the 3 basic reasons that how technological innovations are an important factor. Now, let us move to next year, that is 2011. How are technological innovations? The same, it is just a repetition of the same, of the previous one. 2012, major concentration of the modern manufacturing industries have flourished in few places of the world. Justify the statement with arguments. So, it is related to the factors that is responsible for the location of an industry. Only the language of the question is different, but answer will be the same. Next question. How do secondary activities add to natural resource? Explain with example. Now, secondary activities add to natural, just giving an example. Now, if you think that or we take an example of a cotton textile. Now, first we are getting the raw material from the agricultural site or cultivable ground, cotton ball. Now when we are taking out the cotton from that plant, so what is the first work of transforming? We will take out the weeds from the cotton ball, that is ginning. So we started our processing from ginning. Now after removing the weeds from the cotton ball or the seeds from the cotton ball, what is it? We will put the cotton, that is the ball of the cotton, in the spindles. So our next process is spinning. We will spin it into yarn. We are transforming the cotton ball into different structure. So now we will make the yarns. After the spindles are giving the yarns, what is it? We will move to the weaving section, and over there with the help of weaving and knitting we will make the fabric. So fabric is ready. Now after the fabric is ready, we can first do the coloring of the fabric, that means dyeing. After the coloring of the fabric, then we will move to the stitching of it, that is tailoring. We will, after dyeing, we will do the tailoring, or we are going to give a shape to that fabric, means the garment production. So what do you think? Entire primary product transformed into a useful, valuable product. Cotton ball, a primary product, and garment is a useful, valuable product. So in this way, a primary product has been transformed into a finished, valuable product. So this is the way the secondary activities are transforming the products. Now next question. The next year, that is 2013, give the meaning of the high-tech industry. Already I discussed in the exercise portion of NCERT, and state any two characteristics of this industry. That has also been discussed in the exercise part. Define the term manufacturing, it's been discussed, and explain any four features, it has already been there. Why did cotton textile decline after the Second World War in Europe? Now you have to just please follow it, that why after Second World War the cotton textile industry has been declined. Now because number one, the high quality cotton is not being produced in Europe. High quality cotton is not produced in Europe. That is the first point. High quality cotton not produced in Europe. Second, they have to import the high quality cotton. They have to import high quality cotton. So their production depends upon imported yarn. Third, half of the cotton import, which is quite expensive. Half of the cotton is imported, which is quite expensive. That means European cotton textile industry is based upon imported yarns. That means half of the cotton is being imported, and that is quite expensive. And lastly, after the introduction of the synthetic fiber, they are facing stiff competition with this fiber. So gradually the cotton textile declined after the Second World War in Europe. So what are the reasons? I am just repeating once again. High quality cotton, they are not producing it. Rather, which are the countries it is being produced? Egypt is producing, China is producing, India is producing, Pakistan is producing, USA is producing, Uzbekistan is producing. These are the countries where the high quality cotton is being produced. Then entirely their production depends upon imported yarn. That is England, Northwest European countries, they produce cotton textile from the imported yarn. Now 50% of the Europe alone, that is the 50% of the cotton is imported, and which is quite expensive. So it is very difficult for them to compete with the synthetic fiber, which is comparatively cheaper. So they are facing stiff competition with the synthetic fiber, and these are the reasons that why there is a decline of cotton textile industry in Europe after Second World War. Now next question, that is is what do you mean by the term new rural landscape? Now the new rural landscape means it is totally a transformation. New rural landscape means it is totally a transformation of a old traditional large scale industry to a modern high tech industry. Transformation from old traditional large scale industry to modern high tech industry, that is new rural landscape. So from where to where it has been transformed? From the iron and steel industry, or from coal sources, it transformed into a automobile industry or assemblage of automobile industry, that is Opel Astra car has been developed over there. So it is a transformation, from old traditional to a modern large scale industries, that is new rural landscape. Now next it is 2015. There is no question from this chapter in 2015. 2016, explain the two features of the footloose industry. It's already been done. Mention any two major problems of new rural industrial region. Problems of rural industrial region. Now problems of rural industrial region, first is exhaustion of the resources, and secondly exhaustion of the resources is the first problem, and secondly environmental pollution is the second problem. Exhaustion of resources and environmental pollution, these are the two basic that is problem of the rural industries or rural region. Now next move to the next question of 2017. Describe any three characteristics of agro based industries in the world. Now first of all, agro based industries means the industries which gets its raw material from agriculture, that is number one. Number two, these are basically less capital oriented, more labor oriented industries. Less capital oriented and more labor oriented industries. And number three, these are less polluting industries. Compared to mineral based or chemical based, these are less polluting industries. Best example we can give cotton textile industries. Now next question is related to the 2018. Next year 2018. Differentiate between small scale manufacturing and large scale manufacturing. It's just a repetition question of the previous years. 2019. Explain the characteristics of white collar workers. Now the characteristics of the, it's a 1 mark question only. White collar workers. Characteristics of white collar workers. Now they are basically knowledge oriented workers. The workers who basically do the work, not the that is physical labor, rather mental labor, those are termed as white collar workers. Those who are the professional workers, they are termed as white collar workers. And the last question, what is technopole? Now technopole is a planned development within a concentrated area for technology, innovative industrial related to production. It's a planned development within a concentrated area for the motive of technological innovations, basically for the motive of technological innovation. Now what does this technopoles include? They include within a concentrated technological innovation. Now what does the technopoles include? Actually they include technological parks, science cities, high-tech industrial complexes. Science city is the best example of the technopole. So hopefully the answers are clear to each and every student. Now the plotting of the features which are there, in this chapter, there are only 4 features, that is plottings are there. Number 1, it is the Great Lakes region of North America. Number 1, it is the Great Lakes region of North America. You can see this part, the Great Lakes region of North America. It is number 1. Number 2, it is, the name is only sufficient. They will not give any sort of it. It will be marked it over here. Great Lakes region of North America. This area will be marked out. You have to write down the name of this region. It is the Great Lakes region of North America. Number 2, the Appalachian region of North America. This is the region, Appalachian region of North America. Number 3, it is the Ruhr of Germany. Number 3, it is Ruhr of Germany. This is the Ruhr region, the Ruhr of Germany. The Ruhr of Germany, this part. And number 4, the Silicon Valley of California. The Silicon Valley of California. So I am just pointing it once again. Great Lakes of North America, Appalachian region, Silicon Valley, and Ruhr region of Germany. So these are the 4 plottings that will be there in your syllabus. It is there in your syllabus, 4 plottings in your syllabus. So please do the work in the political, that is outline world map, and just write the names beside that and paste it in your copy after completing the exercise questions and the board questions of this chapter. From next class, I am going to start the practical work. So please follow the class, and if you are having any doubts for today's class, just mention it in the comment section. And up to date your work, I have completed 6 chapters of your fundamentals of human geography. If you are having any doubts, without any hesitation, mention it in the comment section. And thank you for following my class. Have a nice day.